Heather Griffith never thought she would become a statistic.
I figured joining the Marine Corps, since I'm already being abused, there's nothing that the Marine Corps can do that hasn't already been done to me.
Heather endured years of abuse that all started about 15 years ago. By the time she enlisted in the Marines in 2009, it was a normal part of her life. And for her, the shame was something she kept inside.
You know, I didn't want everyone to know what was going on behind closed doors at my house because it was embarrassing, you know?
Her husband, also in the military, was an alcoholic. She recalls the first time she ended up in the hospital after one of his violent episodes.
The first time that I went to the hospital with the incident with him, we had gotten an argument which escalated into a fight, and somebody grabbed a knife. I can't remember if it was him or me, and I got punctured like right here with it. So due to concern about it going deep enough to get in my lungs, they took me to the emergency room. His mom did, because he was too drunk to drive.
A nightmare Heather couldn't wake up from. She had 3 kids to take care of and knew she had to get out.
While I was in the Marine Corps, I had came into work with a black eye. You can try to cover up bruises that's on your face and stuff like that, but when you've got a black eye and busted veins in your eyes, you know, it's a little harder to hide. So a couple of my superiors, you know, pulled me aside to ask me what happened. And by this time, you know, I was just completely worn down and tired, so I just told them.
With the help from her Marine family, Heather was able to file for divorce and eventually get away with her kids in tow. Where is he now?
Incarcerated in Mississippi somewhere.
Any chance of getting out?
I think it was 14, 15 years.
And he was incarcerated for what?
Murder.
1 in 3 women in the U.S. have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. On a typical day, domestic violence hotlines receive approximately 21,000 calls, which is on average close to 15 calls every single minute. In Arizona, it's not until the 3rd reported incident that the offender is officially charged with domestic abuse. While many fall victim to domestic violence like Heather, 63-year-old Stella Cruz experienced it as a young girl.
It all started when, as far as I can remember, I was 3 years old when I first got abused. Sexually abused by the man that raised me, beaten by the woman that's supposed to be my mother, and I grew up that was normal.
A sad reality. I wanted to know what resources were available for women in Yuma who want to learn how to defend themselves. Meet Luis Larios, owner of Larios Karate Club on 4th Avenue. Born in San Luis, Mexico, Luis got involved in karate as a result of his own personal hardship.
I was about 10 years old when I started the martial arts. The reason why, because like I said before, I been bullied most of my life when I was little, and I was tired of that.
He opened Larios Karate Club in 1994 and has been teaching self-defense for the last 16 years. When it comes to self-defense, there aren't any rules. It's whatever you have to do in order to survive. Larios has trained women that have gone through all different types of situations, from being robbed to being raped. He teaches techniques that help people in real-life situations.
Oh my God!
And he doesn't hold back. Classes are held weekly at his club. Places like Safe House and Amberly's Place are known in Yuma, but there's another place where people like Heather and Stella went to share their truth and find guidance and help. It's called The Healing Journey. Opened in 2011, Estrella Fitch opened the nonprofit Trauma Recovery Center for those who have experienced major suffering in their lives, from men to women to young children.
I've always had a lot of passion and care for those who've suffered from abuse. Child abuse, domestic violence, sexual abuse. And as I was growing up, sometimes you see things or you hear things or you're a direct victim of it yourself.
It is there, The Healing Journey, that Heather and Stella now teach young girls in a domestic violence sexual assault support group. Their mission? Know what to do before it happens to you. And if it's already happened, teach these women and young girls how to be survivors and not victims, along with building the strength to stop the cycle.
If you're able to get out of the abuse, I mean, you may have to walk off and leave everything you own for a period of time, but, you know, always try to get out. There's people out there that will help you.